when a man is ready, that's when he's ready. It doesn't matter who it is.
It does not matter.
And this is like the perfect example.
It literally doesn't matter if he's with an ogre at that point.
No.
If he's ready to get married, he will marry her. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Korea Unfiltered. Y'all, today I'm so excited. You know what's crazy about this show? I think today's guest is a friend that I made from the show. And I remember like meeting her the first time and being like, this girl has such good energy. And look at this. A year and a few months later, we're still friends.
Look at
She's
that.
still out here. So you guys may remember this face, but welcome to today's guest, Odessa.
Hello.
The girl who I keep thinking she's from Australia, but she's from New Zealand.
It's close.
Girl,
it's close. So similar.
I wanted to swallow myself that day. I recently had brunch with Odessa, and I had written my favorite Aussie. She's not from Australia.
And I was being nice. I was like, you slay.
Why didn't you say anything?
But you know, look, they're similar. They're so similar. It's fine.
Bro, a third party had to correct me and be like, I think Odessa is from New Zealand. And I was like, I could die at this moment. And I'll be okay.
You know, like, you know what? It's fine. It's okay.
I had to screenshot and send it to her. And
Yeah.
I was like, in my head, I was also like, why wouldn't you tell me that? That was wrong. The story was up for like 5 minutes.
I'm
like, oh, gotta delete. And then I had to change
You had
it.
to change the say, my brunch with my favorite New Zealander, my Kiwi. And I was like,
kill myself. It was so embarrassing. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. But girl, do you want to reintroduce yourself?
sure. Because
people?
the podcast is
Moving
blown
on up.
Hello, my name is Odessa. I am from New Zealand and I've been in Korea for 5 years.
Cool, child.
Yeah, a long
She
time.
said 5 years. And that's it.
That's it.
That's it. What do you do in Korea? for the last
I
5
am
years?
an English teacher. I currently teach kindergarten, but I was teaching primary school for my first 2 years in the rural streets of Korea in Gangwon-do. So.
Yes, and if you guys are curious, because we're not going to dive too deep into what she does as work right now, the first episode that she ever was on, I think you were episode number 5 or 4 or something.
Yeah,
like she was there in the beginning of this podcast. If you're interested in that, we talked a bit about like clubbing, dating, teaching. We talked about that. So make sure you check out that episode if you want to know a little bit more about her. Because today's episode, we're going to fight. We going to want to fight.
Are you ready?
Y'all ready for this episode? I love a juicy episode. Oh my God. Now that it's been 5 years and you have told me that you are now wanting to leave Korea, right? What has made you get to that point where you want to leave Korea?
So I think, so I'm actually moving to China in August. And in the first podcast, I actually kind of mentioned briefly that I've always wanted to move to China. It was just like the perfect time, like when.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just felt like 5 years is a really good amount of time, maybe to some people too long.
Yeah.
But for me, I love Korea. But honestly, I just think it's a nice change of pace to move. And obviously the money's so good in China, girl.
I've heard China pays like there's no tomorrow, y'all.
Yeah, because like in China they see their English teachers as doctors, like up the
like
same
assets,
salary.
like
Yeah,
an
so that's why you get paid more in China than Korea. But honestly, I probably will do a few years in China and then probably come back to Korea because I do really love it. Maybe the money's gonna stop me from coming back to Korea, but I say that I will come back eventually. I don't know if I want to go back to New Zealand anytime soon, to be honest. Yeah.
I think you do fit with Korea a lot. Like your aesthetic and everything matches Korea a lot. I think it's interesting because I believe that it will be the guest before you is also leaving Korea. He's been here for 7 years and now he's like, you know what? I think I've lived everything that I need to live and do in Korea and now it's time for me to go. And then I'm also having that conversation. I've had this conversation with you where I'm like, maybe I've overstayed my stay now. Maybe there's a time for me to go.
There's a time and a place.
Yes, and it's like, we're getting older, like, you know, maybe a change would be great. So I'm like, look at Odessa doing it for all of us. She said, I need to move.
Yeah, girl, I'm nearly 30. So I kind of want to go to China before I'm 30. Maybe like stay there until I'm 30 and then see how it's going.
Do you believe the whole that, God can't speak. now that I'm also like near my 30s, I have this almost like a fear where I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be as an almost 30-year-old, right? Is that something that you're also experiencing?
Yeah, I think also with COVID, we came like during COVID, girl, I say that like, because COVID was like three years of our lives, especially I was here in like COVID time in Korea.
Yeah.
And I felt like it definitely like backpedaled where I wanted to be. But honestly, I've never been the biggest like 5-year planner or anything. So I think, I think the switch up for me to move to China is a little bit like, I love a challenge. I don't like to be in the same place for too long. I mean, I say that. I've been here for 5 years. But I think Korea is so different to New Zealand that it was able to give me that feeling of like something that's different, a little bit more exciting. And then China is even more. So yeah, I think.
It's going to be very different.
But I definitely felt that where I felt very stagnant. And I'm like, I'm so close to 30 and like, you know, I'm single. I'm like all of this stuff. And I'm like, where am I going with this?
Girl,
you know?
yes! And I feel like there's always this online rhetoric that people are like, oh, 30s is the new 20s. Like, you're going to have an amazing, 30s. But there's still like, I feel like people fail to acknowledge that there is still that fear before you turn 30 that as a woman, you're supposed to have all these things.
Yeah.
And then when you're almost 30, you don't have those things. So it's like, am I behind?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I have those things almost, right? Girl.
Yeah. No, because I feel like all my friends and like people I know back in New Zealand, they're all married with children or like pregnant and things like that. And I'm like, what?
We single. Like, what man? Like,
Well, talking about that, I'm pretty
Transition.
sure like in the last podcast, I was like, my man.
Oh my gosh, you were!
And I remember clocking it, like I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like I was already talking about like, with my man, like I don't know if I'm gonna like stay here because of what's happening and I really wanna go to China. Well,
She's single.
yeah. So that's another reason why my ass is going to China is because I said to him, I said, look, if you break my heart, if you ruin this relationship, she did, my ass is going to China. I said,
it's time to go to China.
I think it's just because Korea also holds, we were together for 2 years.
a lot of
Korea
memories.
holds a lot of memories. And I think I kind of just wanted to.
Restart. Yeah.
And then once like I get new memories in China, then I can come back to like something new again.
Yeah, and restart again.
Yeah, because I feel like it didn't end great.
Oh, girl, we'll get into that. But I do feel like sometimes as I don't want to say as women, because there's some girls who like break up and move on like it's nothing. They're just like, next one. I don't think we're that. I don't think me or Odessa are those type of people. But I feel like when you break up, a lot of places that you used to go will remind you of this person. The music that you used to listen to, the things you used to do together.
Especially when your ex takes his new girlfriend to the places you took him to.
No, that's tea. That's tea.
Yeah.
And not only that, the places you introduced him to.
Yeah, because I was the one that was doing all the work, you know.
Y'all, the men out here these days are degenerates. I don't know what's going on in 2025 or since COVID. Actually, I don't even know when it started getting this bad, but dating is just so weird these days.
Yeah.
Because bitch, you know my situation too.
Yeah, girl. It's rough out on these streets.
If you are happily married, stay happily married.
Please.
Okay? If you got a good woman or man in your arms, there's nothing out here for y'all.
No.
Stay in there.
The ocean's big, but I'm still,
Yes.
you know.
People be talking about there's more fish in the sea. The 80% of the ocean is not even discovered. What are you talking about? Like,
I feel like the like men in the ocean are the blobfish at the bottom, the deep, dark depths of the ocean. The little
I know, like, where are people getting good relationships these days?
girl.
It's a mess out here. And I think I sent this to you. I don't know if I sent this to you, but there's like a quote that says, the first 3 months of your relationship with a man will be the best 3 months of your relationship with the man because you will see the best of him. And then the 4th month comes and you're like, oh, who's this?
Who's this man?
Sir, you are not who I met in the first month. Who are you?
Yeah, it's that love bombing. It's the, trying to fit their place into your lives, and then they get comfortable.
And then they're like, oh, she's not leaving, so now, oh, here's me. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
It's like, what's going on? It's so weird. Dating in this generation is so weird. But enough about me. Let's go back a little bit and talk about your dating history, right?
Yeah.
When you first came to Korea, I'm pretty sure you didn't meet him the first month you came to Korea, right?
No.
How did you meet your Korean ex-boyfriend? I love when people write Korean because I also do the same shit.
No,
I do
not
it-
judging.
I do have to say, I do it for the algorithm because algorithm-wise, it gets clicks,
The
right?
girlies love the
Yes, my Korean boyfriend, my Korean this. I gotta do it for the algorithm. Do I think it's cringe? Of course, but I still gotta do it.
You gotta do it.
A girl gotta make her money. Like, what are you talking about? But I don't like when people say to me face to face they have a Korean boyfriend.
I don't care. Or in Korea,
I'll be
probably.
like, oh yeah, my Korean boyfriend. I'm like, oh,
Okay, that's nice.
my invisible boyfriend. Like, why are you telling me about?
Yeah. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, that's when it's weird. But when I see YouTubers do it, then I'm like, girl,
it's-
get your
it's for the-
bag.
yeah.
Get your. my channel is literally Korea unfiltered. Get your money. Get your money, girl. Just don't be introducing people talking about my Korean boyfriend, my Korean wife. my Korean-
You don't need to do that.
That's cringe. How was your dating history before you met him?
Yeah, so for preface, I've only been in like 2 long-term relationships in my life. I'm 28 years young. So
Still young.
actually for like the first 2 years of Korea, I was still dating my ex from New Zealand. We were together for 8 years. Yeah, girl. Since I was 16, and then I was here doing long distance for 2 years, and then just paths weren't.
Aligning.
Yeah, like he wanted to move to Australia. I wanted to stay here. Obviously, with COVID, the borders were closed. New Zealand said, stay out.
Yeah.
And so then he couldn't even come. So at that point where he did want to come, he was just like, oh, that's not really what I want anymore. So yeah, we broke up around 2022 at the start, or at the end of 2021,
okay. Yeah.
start of 2022. And so that means I've never dated.
Since 16.
Yeah, so I've only been in a relationship. So at that point, I've never dated. I don't know what dating apps are. I don't know anything about situationships. In my head, I'm still that teenage girl who was like, if you like someone, you say, I like you, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh,
you know?
so
But
naive.
then-
Yeah.
but then my friend was like, I was like talking to a guy, and my friend was like, well, so what stage are you at? And I was like, what do you
mean by
mean? She's
stage?
like, there's like, what do you call it? Exclusive, not exclusive, situationship,
Short term.
FWB, short term.
ONS.
And I was like, huh?
Girl, that's the modern dating.
And I was like,
Girl, welcome.
yeah. And then my friends, my really close friends in Korea were like, girl, you have not been dating in a while.
Years.
We need to get you on the apps. So they obviously set me up on the apps, the good old.
Which ones? The Tinders?
The Bumble.
The Tinders and the Bumbles.
But I think I started on Tinder, which is already red flag.
Yeah, that's usually like the worst one.
Yeah. And I remember, oh no, actually. Yeah, no, yeah. Sorry.
Girl, I thought it was gonna be like, started with hello talk.
Yeah,
I was
no.
gonna be like,
Oh no.
don't tell me you started with hello talk.
I thought it was the language app. Yeah, I know. I realized very quickly when they were like, yeah,
Not
let's
no
hang
language
out.
app.
And
That is,
not.
that is the dating app. I do have to say, I've seen 3 people
Yeah,
meet
get
their
married.
husband and
Yeah,
wives on there.
yeah. One of
I'm
my
like,
closest friends, Lexi.
Yeah.
She was on the podcast too.
Yeah, I'm like,
She got
maybe
a man on
we
there.
just need to stop with the Tinders and go to Hello Talk.
Hello Talk
And
be
what's
like,
the other one?
Meef.
There we go, Meef.
That
Meef
was
is the other
that's for the net. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's gonna be the yeah.
Okay, girl. So you went on the Tinders?
Yeah, so I went on the Tinders,
Yeah.
and I think this was like 6 months after breaking up with my ex. And I saw his profile on Tinder, and he was Korean, but he lived in Australia for quite a while.
Oh, you're talking about your now ex.
Yeah, my now
girl, I
ex.
thought we were
Sorry.
talking about the one from
No,
15 years. I was
sorry.
like, how was he in Korea? at this
No.
point?
Sorry, this
Okay.
is my.
Let's give
now,
him a fake name.
Steve.
Steve. So we saw Steve on Tinder.
We saw Steve on Tinder. I really hope I can remember that name. You're gonna have to remember.
Steve.
And yeah, I met him, and we I can't get into too much detail on his work because it's a bit maybe obvious.
Yeah.
But he had his own business, and that meant he worked like 7 days. So I didn't want anything serious. Well, I didn't know what I wanted.
Yeah.
And so we hung out like after his work, and he was like, oh, like this looks dodgy because I want to see you at like 11 o'clock, but like that's when
Oh,
his
that does
work-
sound dodgy.
Yeah, he was like, oh, but like my work and like ends late, and I'm traveling to see you because he was living on the opposite side. And so we met, and we like got it off. Like,
so the first date was really good.
Yeah, we went to a wine bar and we were like drinking, and the vibes. And I think because of his humor was very like Aussie, I think that's what I was able to like connect with. So I think that's why like it went off. And then like he wanted to see me like the next couple of days, and then like I would only be able to see him once every week, and that literally stayed the same for 2 years of our relationship. And I want to preface this, I never complained. I'm a very independent woman, so I didn't really like worry that much because I like to do stuff. But yeah, so that was that. I would see him after his work, we would hang out, and then I was actually living in
near Hongdae.
Yeah. Hongdae area, yeah. But he was living towards more like Songpa kind of area.
That area.
Yeah. So after like nearly 2 years, I would say this around February, I actually decided to move closer to him because he was talking about how it was hard for him to like see me. So I was like, well, I will make the effort. And also, this man's wanted to like, he started talking about marriage and all of this. I've never wanted to get married. It was never really my thing. I've never really wanted children, maybe when I'm older. So like that was never on my mind, but he was like really pushing the idea. And for like our first year, I would say that he was very like, we were exclusive in the way where we weren't seeing anyone, but like this should have been the red flag. Like he didn't really post me. I also didn't either. If I did, it was very like soft launch. It was very subtle.
Like no face,
yeah.
No case.
But then after a year, I was like, so what are we? And like he didn't really want to put a label on it for a while.
Girl, welcome to the modern dating. Yeah.
I was like, it's been a year, man.
A year is crazy not to know what you are.
Yeah.
As a couple, yeah.
And then I think maybe about a month after that, he wanted to be like girlfriend, boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then literally maybe 3 months after that, so a year and a half maybe, he was like, marriage, I want to get married to you. Like, and I was like,
he was 30?
Yeah, so he was 94. I'm 96. So yeah like 2 years. So I think he was like 30's nearing. I'm like, I want to get married now, right? Yeah. So, and I was like, actually thinking about it, like I generally was like, I was in love with him, I guess, yeah. And so I was like, okay, I could see myself marrying him. So I think that's why I decided to move.
Because you were like, this is it. This is like my future.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously his work was in the area on the opposite side. So I was like, well, I will move. And funnily enough, one of my friends was leaving her job, which was closer in that area. So I was like, well, it kind of works like really well. Yeah. So then I ended up moving in February of 2024. Well, it is 2025, right? Yeah. Last year.
Yeah.
And then I felt like the moment I moved, I felt like this big switch. Because I was closer, I was like maybe like a 15-minute walk from him.
So close.
And I didn't want to keep on being like, oh, like now we live close, like maybe I can see you more. But I felt like I wanted to see him at least like once in the weekend, once in the weekday.
Which is not a lot. If you're 15 minutes away from his job, it's like...
Yeah, and then I would pop into
his business.
Yeah, pop into his business and like see him more. But like I feel like when I would ask him to see him in the weekend, it felt like it was like a chore. And like he didn't really like that.
Or put effort into actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then so I would say, I feel like May was when the shit hit the fan. Last year May was like where I felt like this big switch. And like previously he would go through these phases of like being very like overworked and stressed about like family and stuff. So like then he would be like, oh, I want to break up, I can't do this. Because you know, like with men, not all, but it's like that feeling of like, what can I let go? Like what's the easiest to run away from that I feel secure? So I think he would do that a few times in our relationship. So I thought this was like another.
So he's just, he's going to detach a little bit, but he's going to come back and retach again.
That's what you thought. That's what I thought. Yeah. And then it was like, and it usually happens for like maybe a week but then like a week and then 2 weeks. And then just like the vibes were off. Like at my house, he would go straight on the couch and he would just like fall asleep. And he would just like, I'm just tired. And like just, there was like no like,
initiation of like physical touch.
Nothing. And like he would want cuddles and stuff, but like it was like, I would like get so angry that I was like, I did not waste my time, or like I don't want to waste my time like caring after him, you know? So I was like, well, I'm going to go to bed.
Because now it's feeling motherly.
Exactly. And then I think I would like wake up at 2:00 and he's still on the couch, like knocked off. Like,
And this
literally.
is somebody she's known for like 2 years. So
Yeah.
normally you would just sleep in the same bed together, like
Yeah,
cuddle
of
on the
course.
bed. But he's
Downstairs, 'cause I'm on a loft,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
downstairs on the couch and Odessa is upstairs on the bed.
And I would literally be like, hey, like, you want to come to bed? And he'd get angry at me. He'd be like, just leave me. And I was like, am I dating like a 20-year-old? Because that's what it felt like. I was like,
Yeah.
literally like, like, come to bed. Like, ick.
like motherly, yeah.
Ick. Like, yeah. So then I kind of found, and also there was little changes and like,
Women notice, y'all, by the way. Women will notice when
it's
changes
that
start.
what is it? The seventh sense? I don't know. It's the,
Oh, I say it's your intuition.
it's the intuition. Yeah,
It's your
yeah.
intuition. Like, I think most women who care and love a guy will notice when you start changing a bit.
Oh, absolutely.
The slightest change will be like, that's weird.
And you know what he did? Like, I would like, when we would go out, it was the phone. You know the one.
Damn, we don't have our phone. Oh, she's actually, her phone is right there and it's like that.
And, I'm doing the F boy like
Yeah.
hand phone over, like
Yeah.
no messages, and I was
You
like,
can't see anything. Yeah.
yeah. And then he kept on like flip flopping like over the weekends of like, I want to break up, I want to stick together. The initial thing during May was, I've lost feelings for you, like I've lost that spark, and because like he was used to like toxic relationships, he thought that losing a spark was like a problem, but I think it's because we got too comfortable with each other.
Right. Because it became peaceful at some point.
Yeah,
It was
and I
like,
don't think he was used to it.
toxicity is not peaceful.
No, but
It
I
was
think
chaos.
yeah,
Bro,
and
that's literally my little thing right now. Like, chaos is what like he likes. And me and Odessa, we're not chaotic people, y'all. We can't do chaos. It's too much work.
No.
But yeah.
yeah. So then like over that time he was like hot and cold, off and on. But to get into it, like at the start of May, I was helping him with his TikTok. Like he wanted to do like fashion stuff and things like that. And then so like he would post like, you know, like photo dumps of us because we went to Japan and stuff together, and
Yeah.
like he would post stuff of us. So like I remember just going on it to see how it was going, and he only would follow like 6 people. And this does sound kind of weird. Like I know his following, but you know, like I
You've
knew
been
who
with
he
him
was
for, like, 2
following,
years.
You know,
Yeah.
I felt safe, you know.
Yeah.
And then I noticed his follow account went up to 8, and then I
2 more.
and then I looked, and then I saw him follow these like 2 girls, and then I like clicked in their Instagram was in their bio, and then I saw he was following them on Instagram, and I was like, I don't know who these girls are. They were like French girls. They were living in, they were Canadian French. They were living in Canada, and like I was like, that's so weird because like he doesn't follow anyone.
He's not even been to Canada. Doesn't know French. So
No.
who are these 2 random
And
girls
you know
that
what
you're
the
not
crazy
following?
thing was? I remember him like bringing it up that month, being like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking of like wanting to move to Canada. Like, would you?" What? So I was like putting 2 and 2 together, and like in the back of my mind, I was like, "That's such a weird thing." But I trust my man. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I trusted him
At the time. Yeah.
at the time, and then so I and then one day I remember it was the 19th of May. He was like, "I want to come over." It was
Yeah.
a Sunday, and also on a preference, Monday was my school photos. So we had to look put together.
Good.
Okay, this was a
Yeah.
Sunday. He came over, and then he just pretty much was like, "Yeah, I don't love you anymore. I just don't know where I'm heading. You know, like I'm really stressed and all of this." And at this point, I was done like
Begging.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so I was like, fine. But the way it ended felt like he just needed a break. I don't
Because
really.
it's happened before.
Yeah, and I just felt like, okay, maybe he just wanted to hang out with friends because the only day off he had was with me. So maybe he just wanted to hang out with friends. And so there was this hope that maybe he just wanted to be a boy, live his life a little bit, and then come back. Because
Yeah.
literally, the month after would have been our 2 years. So I thought maybe he was just kind of like, you know,
Just needed some space.
need a space, come back. Little did I know.
The space had been filled. The space is filled. That's why Odessa gotta go, because my heart is full of somebody else.
Yeah, so I said to him, no contact. I didn't want to do contact. We had, at this point, he did have photos in his, like, on his Instagram of me, like, in photo dumps and stuff. So I remember, like, unfollowing him because I didn't want to see it, but there was just this weird gut feeling to check that girl from TikTok's Instagram. And I realized they were here in Korea. They were here in South Korea. They were 2 best friends. They were here in South Korea. And I was like,
This is odd.
This is odd. Like, and it felt like he wanted to break up quickly.
Like he had a timeline that he has to break up with you.
And then literally, I am not shitting you. This man, 2 days after we broke up, on her story was a picture of him hanging out with these 2 girls.
Chile.
2 days. No, I don't even know. It was the Tuesday. Yeah, girl. And I had photo day on the Monday. So obviously on the Sunday, I was sobbing. My eyes were red. And I was like this in my photo. Like,
everything is fine.
Yeah, and all my friends were like, are you okay? And I'm like, they had no idea. They had no idea this was happening. Yeah. And to be fair, I didn't tell my friends that I was going through this for like 2 months. Ooh. Because there was a part of me that if I did get back with him, if there was like, we had some like figuring it out, I don't want my friends to judge him.
And like dislike him potentially.
Yes, so I wanted to 100% make sure what was happening.
Yeah. And let me preface this for people who are like, oh, why would you do this? She was with him for almost 2 years. She was in love with him. Like, this is somebody who had talked. This is another thing. Men should not bring marriage up with a woman that they're not 100% sure with. Because once, I think a lot of, especially because Odessa did not want to get married. That's like the thing that makes me very, listen, Steve, if you ever watched this, you should have never brought up marriage to a girl who does not want marriage and then dump her. I don't like your, and I know you're going to see this because I might send this to you, okay? You little.
And the girl. Sorry,
listen.
The wife. Like, yeah.
Not the wife.
Yeah.
Not the wife. Listen, I just don't understand. It's like, why would you give somebody that hope only for you to take it back a few months later?
Yeah. And like during this whole relationship, he was like, I don't know if my mom's gonna accept you. Like, I don't come from like a traditional Korean accepting background. Like my mom was a young mother, solo parent as well. And obviously that is like, no, and like a Korean family.
Traditional family, yeah.
Yeah. And so that was one red flag. And then money. He didn't like that I had student loans. I know who he wanted to like marry in Korea that doesn't have student loans, but
who is educated without student? Unless you are from a rich family, we all have student loans. That's how the Western world works.
So he was like, I'm stressed because I'm gonna feel like my family needs to pay for your student loan. I was like, did I ask?
And you listen, Steve. Steve. When did she ask you to pay for her loan?
Never.
And it's crazy because I have another friend who was talking to this guy, and that was the reason he broke up with her. Because he was like, I don't want to feel like I have to pay for your loans. And I'm like, since when do my loans become your loans? I've been paying my loans by myself for years. So
exactly.
Why do I suddenly be like, oh, by the way, I have loans?
And also, I know you don't fuck with this, but I do Dutch a lot. Like if like in my relationship.
She said, I know you don't fuck with that.
Yeah, I know.
She knows me so well.
But like if like he brought dinner, I would get cocktails.
Yeah.
If like he did cafe, I would do this. Like I was very
independent.
Yeah, and I think it's just the way I grew up. I always did that, especially in my last relationship. I was the mother. So
it's like, what signs would he even have had to believe that you would want to sit back at home doing nothing and him paying all the bills?
Yeah, exactly.
When she's been doing. Listen, Steve, you piss me off.
Drink every time we say Steve.
Steve is gonna be brought up a lot, but it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't stand when men like give hope to someone just for them to take it out, like to just pluck it from you right when you have already started believing in that.
Yeah.
Because you had seen this person as now as your husband.
Literally. And my friends were like, oh girl, you are going to get married.
I remember the day that you told me that you have never been the type of person who thought you were going to get married. I remember this. And then for her to like, oh my God, Steve. Oh my God. Because I just like, because I've known Odessa for quite a while now. Yeah. And it's just like, I remember you saying that. And then you telling me that he's the one who brought it up. Like he's talked about this. And then the day I met you on the subway and you were like, we broke up. And I was like,
I had to tell her so quickly. And she was like, what? I have to go. And I was like,
girl, I was shook. I was in the subway. I saw Odessa. I sat next to her and I was like, girl.
Hey,
and then she's like, oh, by the way, I broke up with my man. And I was like, excuse me? I thought you were going to tell me you had a wedding next month. That's how much we all believed in this relationship. Just for this man to be a and pluck shit right under Odessa.
And I think also the thing that makes it hard is when your friends like accepted him, they really liked him. And so that's always so awkward.
Super awkward.
Yeah. So then like going back, like, Tuesday he hung out with them.
Yeah.
And then literally I know that his days off are usually Thursday. And I was like, this bitch, I bet you this man's going to be going out with that. Because there was like, they did photo booth.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can just tell like the guy he's fucking with, right? And I could tell.
The
There was
girl.
this one
You
girl.
said the guy. You said I mean, comme si comme ça, but potato. But the girl. The girl he's fucking with.
So yeah.
Yeah.
You can just tell. And I was like, I bet you he's gonna like hang out with her or like them again. And so like again, Thursday, also like, yeah, I used my Finsta, so they didn't know I was.
I feel like it is so normal for all of us. We all have a Girl, I have a Finsta.
And the crazy thing is, if they were talking for this, like, I would say they were talking for about a month. This girl saw my pictures. She saw everything. So that also makes her
because if you were a girl's girl, you don't go to another man's page, see that they have a girlfriend, and then still DM and hee ha ha with them. Now, is your ex-boyfriend Steve? You are wrong as hell too for even entertaining it. But we gonna call you Bertha or Bertha. Let's call you Bertha. Bertha also was in the wrong because why are you messaging a man who clearly has his girlfriend on his profile?
And like, it's not like I think the last post with us was like maybe the start of May. So he might have been like, oh, we broke up and stuff. But like all of our pictures were on his page. And so like.
And y'all were still following each other.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
Like, I honestly think that he broke up with me so he didn't feel like he was cheating to hang out with her. I think that was.
In reality, if you are engaging in any type of conversation with any woman who's not your girlfriend and lying to your girlfriend about it, you're cheating.
Yeah.
If you're not being like, oh, babe, by the way, I'm talking to this girl on Instagram, you're cheating.
Yeah. If you have to hide it.
If you have to turn your phone from your girlfriend, you're cheating.
Yeah.
Like, and yes, emotionally cheating is also a thing. You don't have to physically be together. Because I think people might be like, oh, but he hadn't met her. But you were still talking to her.
Yeah. He was like in the midst of talking to hang out, you know? So
you're planning things without even telling your girl that you're planning things.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's cheating. You shouldn't be entertaining other women if you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's that simple. But
so yeah, they did hang out.
Yeah.
And then I know I said no contact, but I was raging.
Oh, of course.
So I remember like on the Friday messaging him, being like, "Who's Bertha?
Bertha.
Who is she?"
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, like, oh, she's just a friend. My friends, she came from Canada, and like, they were like, they wanted to hang out, and like, it's just nothing. And I was like, and then I screenshotted like the photo booth, and I was like,
your friend.
This does not look. He had like his arm around her, and like head, you know, like I was like, that's not a friend. You're lying out your ass. And
to think that he would think you're stupid enough not to even know that it's a lie is crazy to me.
Yeah, and he just was like, oh, but like, how are you? I was like, bitch, I'm not. Like, I'm not.
How would you be if you were in my shoes?
Yeah, and he was just always just like, obviously he got caught. So he was like, oh, no, I'm sorry that you like found out. I'm sorry that like, what did he say? He was like, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Like, I feel really bad. Yeah, sorry, that's violence.
Yeah, that's
too big.
a little too big,
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
Make it a little smaller. It's a tiny violin, sir. Like, it's him trying to be a good guy at the end of the day when it's like,
Yeah.
you're not. You're a terrible human being. I'm sorry.
So I like stopped, and then I started like, and then I noticed he started deleting photos of us and stuff like that, and so I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna delete everything. So I did.
Yeah.
But then again, I was like, you know what? I feel like they're gonna hang out on the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
They went on a solo date. If I was her best friend and we traveled from Canada to Korea to hang out, and then she said, "Love you, sis, but I got to go on a date with another man, a Korean man."
I gotta go get me a Korean boyfriend.
I'd be pissed.
I'd be annoyed
Leave
too.
me in
What
a
do you
hotel.
mean? Unless she also had a little thing on the side.
Oh,
and then-
maybe.
I mean, from what I heard, girl, you be chasing Korean men. So
Oh, no, that was her following list. Korean men and French girls, so... Anyway. But yeah, no, like literally, and she wasn't like hiding the fact.
Yeah.
Like that they
for
were
her,
like...
it's a prize.
Yeah, and then they, you know, she posted the little Polaroid of him like kissing, them kissing. This is
not
5
even a
days.
week.
Not even a week. 5 days, the kissing photo booth. And then you know what's crazy is the best friend clocked, obviously, like my Finsta.
Finsta, yeah.
She blocked me. So she also, they know. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like y'all know what y'all doing because for you to be blocking a Finsta, it's like you know the ex-girlfriend is watching.
Yeah.
Which means you know you're doing something wrong. Because if it was me and I saw like I've done this before. If it was, I have done this before. If I saw somebody's ex, like if I'm dating someone and I see somebody's ex watching my story, I'm messaging you because I'm like,
Why are you here?
yeah, like why are you like on my stories? Like, is there something I don't know that's behind the scenes? Like, is this man still with you? And I don't, I'm messaging you 100%. So for her to see that and be like, oh, let me block this chick.
And this was the friend. This wasn't even the girlfriend. Like, didn't all his, I don't even know what you call it at that point. His ting, Bertha, she kept it wide open. I swear to God, she wanted to see. But
because she wants you to be like, look, I took your man.
Yeah.
I took your man, girl.
So fast forward, they left.
Yeah.
They left Korea after a week, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
And then like, this is crazy.
You were still
this is crazy. And like now I think about it, I'm like, ick. I gave myself the ick.
Yeah.
That like, you know, maybe like he still might come back. He just wanted to like hang out with her, and like maybe he was like, okay, that was not what I really wanted, and had that realization that like I was.
Because you were there for him for 2 years.
Literally. And then I would say maybe 2 weeks after she came to Korea, I stopped looking at her stories. I didn't really care. I just had this inkling. And I went on her stories, and there was a bouquet of flowers that she took. And it was like, when your boyfriend from 10,000 kilometers away sends you flowers. Boyfriend.
And it's only been
2 weeks.
Actually, let's minimize a little bit more. It was what, 2 days later after he broke up with you, he met her?
Yeah.
And now he's your long distance boyfriend that you've only known for a week.
Yeah.
And this man had a girlfriend for 2 years.
Yeah.
That moved all across Seoul to be near him. And he was talking about marriage with you. But now you have a girlfriend in Canada. Make it make sense.
Ladies,
men
do
will
the
always
bare
choose
minimum.
themselves.
Do the bare minimum.
Because men will leave you in the desert with no water. They will leave you in the desert with no water. You will do everything for a man, and they will still choose themselves at the end of the day.
Yeah. So that was that. And then
Bro, I'm so pissed. Listen, I'm pissed for Odessa. I'm annoyed.
But then like, and then obviously I finally told my friends, and they were like, you know, crazy. And then I was just telling them, I was like, look, I have a feeling that he's gonna like marry her within like a year. And they're like, no, don't be silly. So she came here like for a month, because obviously they hung out once and was like, yeah, I love you.
Yeah.
So yeah, she came, and I think they stayed for a month. In the 2 years I was with him, I met his mum because they were together, and like I met his like sisters-in-law and stuff like that. But I never was invited to dinner, and I know like some Korean, like when you're dating them, it takes a while.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, but within like him dating her, she like posted like photos of like her meeting like the brother, the sister, the niece. Yeah.
And oh, child.
Yeah. I think that hurt the most, is realizing like he did the bare minimum for me. And I think like he could have, I'm seeing all the things he didn't do with me, giving up time, literally going on holiday for her. Like we never really had it would always be like maybe a 1 or 2 days that we did have a holiday. It was twice.
Because it was always his business.
Yeah, but like he hired someone so that he could go on holiday. They went to like Jeju together. So I was like, oh, so he could taxi.
He just
if
didn't
you
want
know
to.
the taxi theory. Like this like story is like very taxi theory, where like when a man is ready, that's when he's ready. It doesn't matter who it is.
It does not matter.
And this is like the perfect example.
It literally doesn't matter if he's with an ogre at that point.
No.
If he's ready to get married, he will marry her.
Yeah.
He'll marry that person. Yeah.
And then at this point I just stopped like caring at this point. I was like, I'm done. And then I think I would say maybe a month ago, again, intuition's crazy.
Yo, when I tell you a woman's intuition is scary.
I was like, you know what? I haven't like stalked him a little bit. Like, let me check. I swear to God, I checked. He was in Canada. This man's was in Canada. Next story. She said yes.
With the hand like
the hand, the little ring.
the ring.
And I was just like, and my friend like literally was there, and she was like, because she was like, why don't we look? Like, have a look. Yeah. And she literally grabbed me. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm actually fine. I think this is hilarious. And she's like, are you? No, I was like, this is how I know I've moved on. Yeah. Because like I literally was like, that's hilarious.
Because it's like you're not hurt about it.
I'm not hurt about it because I clocked it. Yeah. I was like,
she did. Remember, Odessa said he's definitely going to marry this girl before the year ends.
They haven't. So at this point, they still hadn't been together for a year. I would say like maybe 10, 11 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. And obviously because I am Odessa's friend, she screenshotted it and sent it to me. I said,
I did.
I was like, perfect done. What am I looking at? Like, what is this?
I didn't say anything. I just sent the photo.
And I'm like,
Detective.
what are we all looking at right now?
Yeah.
That's how crazy this is, because it's like, you knew this man for 2 years. He told you about marriage.
Yeah.
He just met this girl yesterday. He's moving mountains for this girl.
Yeah.
And now he's engaged to her.
And I don't want to say like this is just like my experience in Korea. It wasn't a great one. It was a long relationship, but like my first
boyfriend out of like the long boyfriend.
Yeah, traumatizing. I'm not gonna lie.
That has to be traumatizing.
You wonder why my ass is like, China, here I come.
See, that's exactly why Odessa is like, I gotta go, because this has been traumatic, because it's very traumatic. I think some people would think like, oh, it's not a big deal, like he just found his one.
Yeah.
It's okay to find your one, but stop stepping on people's feelings when you're finding your one.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't feel like this person is your person, just let them go.
Let them go.
Wasted 2 years of your life.
Literally. I think train of thought just went just like
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something with
Wasting your time? Odessa's train of thought says psych. How did that mentally affect you?
I think it obviously like kind of kills your like perception on like yourself, like why wasn't I good enough, you know, like things like that. And also just trust, like I really trusted him, and I think there were definitely red flags, like you know, the following list, like just random foreign girls like in Korea that he would follow. Like I didn't really care before me, like if he was following them, but like the fact that he would still like random girls' photos and like comment, and then I had to like tell him like, yo, it's not
it's
cool.
A little weird. Can you
and
stop?
like I'm not against guys having girlfriends or like things like that, but like he would like want to hang out with like certain girls. On a side note though,
you gonna talk about this? She gonna talk about it.
His best girlfriend, stunning, by the way, she is stunning. I always, you know, that whole saying like girls stay with guys
who they're not attracted to,
and then guys stay with friends with who they're attracted to.
Guys have female friends who they are attracted to, while girls have male friends who you're not attracted to.
It's like a full phenomenon. Like it's a thing.
So about this friend.
Yeah, so I feel like he was like fully in the friend zone, and then like, and she wasn't like, you know,
interested at all.
But I swear to God, his fiance literally looks like her.
They
you saw
look
the photo.
Very similar, y'all.
Yeah.
They look extremely similar. And I'm just like, if she's not gonna say, I'm gonna say it. I feel like he was like in love with that bestie, and that bestie was like, no, you're not my type. And the first thing he saw that looked similar to that bestie, he was like, that's my type.
Yeah, and I think because like he always like had a fantasy of like, he really liked white girls. And I like don't want to say this, but I think they both had like fantasies of each other. Like
100%.
she obviously was attracted to like Korean men. Like she was really into. I was into K-pop.
Watch the first episode.
Yeah. So like, I'm not judging on that, but like I always saw that he had an interest in like specifically white girls, and he would always say, "Oh, you're my first like non-white girl."
Ick.
Yeah, and then I was like, so he's like this girl thought he was hot, and he was like, oh my God, like she's like the type of girl that I want. And then it kind of
snowballed to this.
Yeah.
Him literally hurting your feelings and not giving any care to your feelings too. This.
Yeah, so this is the whole thing is the reason why I want to leave as well. Besides the money was.
Girl, you got to go.
Oh, it came back. I was saying that like you said like what like the toll is because I was the one like planning the dates and all of that. When I saw his story, when she was here, he would take her to all the places that I took him to. So like literally where I was staying, like she would post stories and it was literally the same view. So she was literally staying like 5 minutes away. And like it literally, I didn't want to leave my house for like a month because I was worried that I would like literally bump into them.
And because she knows you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like your face. Yeah.
And like I was like traumatized and like that he would take her to like my favorite like cookie place and like cafes. And I was just like, you're ruining all the good places
that you had to search for.
Yeah.
And now this girl's footprint.
And she
is in
thinks
that.
he's doing all the work. Like she's like, wow,
No,
he's
he's
so like,
not.
yeah.
Odessa is the one who introduced
I did
these
all of
places.
it.
And as Odessa said before, for like 2 months she didn't tell anybody. When I tell you, I was so mad at that because if I knew, me and Odessa would be outside too. I would have been outside with Odessa because no, we're gonna be outside. We're gonna enjoy the neighborhood too. I'm the type of person who will sit next to you. Bertha, I would have looked you in the eye and be like, hey, Bertha.
What's up, girl?
How your TikTok? Like, I'm very, like, ride or die for my friends. And I don't like when people, like, step on my friends like that. I don't like, it's disgusting. It's very disgusting behavior. And for him to, like, knowingly, like, know these are Odessa's favorite places and to take Bertha to those same exact places, disgusting.
Yeah.
Sir, Steve, I wish you get a paper cut every single day of your life. I hope a glass breaks in your business every single day. When you're washing dishes, I hope it slips and falls.
Yeah.
Because the way you move gross. Like, it's very gross behavior. You could have been way honest, way earlier on.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't have, if he was just like, look, like when he was saying like, I lost like feelings for you. And also like during this time, I like, because I kind of had her at the back of my mind. I was like, is there anyone? I was literally giving him the opportunity to be like, yeah, there's this girl, you know, I've got kind of feelings for her, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't. And I was like, just tell me if there's someone there.
And that's what's called lying.
Yeah.
You're
and then
lying.
actually when I saw the flower post, I actually screenshotted it and like sent it to him. And I was like, so you lied. So you do know her. And he was just, oh, but like, I didn't know this was going to happen.
No, you did. You knew months prior.
Yeah.
And that's why you started moving different in May. Like,
So-
people think, like, I think some men think women are dumb. Like, our intuition is crazy.
Crazy.
If it doesn't feel right, we're gonna know something's not right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes it will come in a dream. Like sometimes you will dream something and then it will happen. As a woman, it will happen. I don't know if men have intuition. I feel like y'all don't. I don't know if y'all men, do y'all have
comment?
Yeah, do y'all have like intuition? I don't know.
Like, do you get that feeling?
Yeah, like something's not right, and then it's not right. Like I don't know. But Steve, I would have respected him more if he apologized.
Yeah, he
And was like,
didn't.
Of course he didn't.
He didn't.
Like just a child. Like
Yeah.
you're a child. And even Bertha, like we're not 100% sure if Bertha, you know,
Instigated it
or
or-
even
yeah,
was
yeah.
being lied to. Because I feel like
I think there must have been something. As a
yeah, but for the bestie to block you,
she knew.
no, I think she knew. I think Bertha knew. And Bertha, if you ever see this and you feel like
hope she does.
you were lied to, girl, yes, message me. I'll clear your name, Bertha. I'll be the one to clear your name. Because as of now, I think you two, birds of a feather, flock together. He's weird. You're weird too. Like
Yeah, literally.
You have a ring on your finger. You're a weirdo. Like, what do you mean? Like, congratulations on the marriage, but how you get them is how you lose them, innit?
Oh, that is true.
How you get them is how you lose them. You helped in the cheating. You knew he had a girlfriend. You still messaged him. Y'all still talked. You have a ring, great for you, but at what cost? Literally trampling on another woman's feelings.
I did the math. I didn't do the math, but I did an assumption
Yeah.
that like I think they would have seen each other maybe for like a total like together maybe a month,
A month.
like physically I think.
Because she's in Canada and he's in Korea.
Yeah. So that whole little I really want to like move to Canada. That I see. Yeah. it all
He was
Already
already
thinking, like-
about it, even before meeting this girl.
Yeah.
He's already thinking about moving to Canada with somebody he has not even physically met. That's cheating. Like, for this man to be like, oh, I didn't think I was gonna be like that. Sir,
Yeah.
we not Tweedledee or Tweedledum out here. Like, what?
Yeah. I feel like this like episode was just like me and this like relationship, but you know,
Because it's a
good.
huge part of why you're leaving.
Why I'm leaving, yeah.
And I honestly think it's crazy because I feel like a lot of women go through
No, not even just Korea, but just in general.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a Korean, this is not even a Korean
It's not.
man thing.
Yeah.
The title would be Korean boyfriend. I do have to say that because you know a thumbnail has to be thumbnailed, you know. But it's not even like only Korean men thing.
No.
Like men have been moving like degenerates for a while now, all over the world. Girl, I'm just like, do we just need to like?
Tiring.
It's very mentally tasking,
Yeah.
and I feel like sometimes because I think women probably also do move like this because we're women. we're straight women, so we only date men. So we don't know about other women, but I feel like sometimes I'll see men moving in a way that I'm like, do you just not care about the person's feelings at all? Like, do you not care about hurting them or jading them so much that they can't move on with their lives? Because some women, Odessa could never, but some women, that would have crushed them for even years.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have been able to move on.
I know. I don't want to, but like the childhood trauma really helps.
Thank God you were an independent girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother raised me as a really strong woman. I appreciate that. So
yeah, if you were anxious attachment,
ooh, I'm avoidant. So that's why I was like,
so for you it works, but
yeah.
Girl, if you were anxious attachment, I don't even know what had happened at that moment.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Look at God looking out for you. God was like, trauma I'm giving you will help you in adulthood. We're laughing at the, it's not funny at all. Like, childhood trauma is actually really fucked. It fucks you over as an adult. But
but she got me out of this, so I appreciate it.
It helped her in this situation. Is all I have to say. Okay? Yeah. But, ugh.
So, yeah.
Steve, you need to apologize. Like, you actually genuinely, like, your face is plastered in my head now. And you're not, I'm sorry, you're not even all that. Like, you're not all that. Like, why are you moving like a degenerate? You moving like a Hongdae boy. Oh, that's what he's moving like. And I'm just like,
and we all know now. Thanks to Sean. Shout out to Sean.
Oh, yes.
But getting that name out there.
At this point, Hongdae, is he called Hongdae guy?
Yeah.
The Hongdae guy, I might hit up Sean to be like, you want to come on the podcast again?
But specifically just do.
Just come as Hongdae boy. Please come as Hongdae boy. But it's just like, I feel like sometimes men will get girlfriends who praise them a lot and inflates their ego.
Yes, I think she definitely stroked his ego. And I think like, and also, like, she's in Canada. Yeah. So I think it was easy for him to fall in love so quickly because he didn't actually have to put in that effort because he wasn't physically there with him or her, right?
Yeah.
So I think that whole thing was, like, it was easy for him to still have his time here and be a good boyfriend while calling her every day, whatever. But, yeah, I think it was just a whole...
Still, like, y'all have not...
Obviously,
you know
low self-esteem.
Yes, but this is y'all marriage. We wish you what's coming for you, Bertha and Steve. I don't know. Maybe y'all will have a beautiful marriage. Who knows? Like, maybe it's going to be like some little cute little children. But on the other hand, karma knocks.
Yeah.
Karma will always knock. Steve, karma will sometimes bite you in your butt.
Yep.
That's all I have to say because God don't play about his children. Clock that C. Anyways, girl, China's calling.
Yep.
And China has new men. New men.
It's going to still take me some time. But
yeah. But now you know the modern dating.
Yeah.
Welcome to modern dating, Odessa. It's
scary.
A mess. It's a mess out here.
Scary. Yeah.
But hopefully China is better. She's going there to work, but maybe dating could be a part of it. You never know.
I never know.
But since then, have you tried dating?
No.
Damn.
No. It's been a year and I'm like...
Closed chapter, moving to China.
I think also because like I was actually going to go to China before, like in my head with Steve. Like I was like, 4 years in Korea, that's perfect. I'm going to start. It's like a even number thing.
Yeah.
I was like 4 years perfect. So I stayed obviously for Steve. And yeah, I think like, I don't know. I just felt like it was like an FU to him because I said to him like, you know, if you ruin it, I'm going to go.
And here she is now.
Yeah.
She's going to China.
Yeah.
China is calling and Odessa picked up, is all I have to say. And now, more money, less problems is all we hope for. Yeah. But is there anything else that you wanted to say about this situation before we get to the next situation?
God, this looks so bad. The only 2 times, and it's just trash.
It's the reggae girl.
Yeah.
I feel like it's trash for everybody right now. I don't have anybody who's just dating in my life right now that is going well. They're either married happily or single.
Yeah. There's like, and also like just like hearing stories from my friends, like it's just messy out here. Yeah. But I do love Korea and I like, it kind of is just a shitty situation, but I didn't want it to affect me. And I'm still like, my last year, I still wanted to like live my best life. So it's like, just not let it.
It's so sad that, you know, as people, we yearn for partnership. It's sad because it's so easy to pick the wrong person.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to get attached to the wrong human.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that it's hard to just be by yourself. And I saw this post that says, "Oh, maybe you like need to learn self-love before committing to a relationship." And it's like, I do love myself.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with self-love. It's wanting partnership. I can't partner with myself. Doesn't work like that. I love myself, but we all yearn for partnership.
Yeah,
we
of
all
course.
want to go home to someone who's there for us and supports us. But because of that, picking wrong is so easy.
Yeah.
Picking wrong is so freaking easy.
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I just wish arranged marriage was easier. Because I apparently arranged marriages work more than love marriages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that too.
And I have a
because the
friend who's
parents-
in an arranged marriage right now, and she's doing great.
works.
Yeah, and I'm like, do I need to hit up Indian matchmaking? Like,
You never know.
bring, maybe,
Hello.
maybe I need to hit y'all up to
Well,
set me up.
I don't know if you've seen, but like in China, they have like these parks
Yeah.
where the parents of children that are not married
Yeah.
and they like try and sell their child for marriage, and you're like, oh, this guy sounds decent, like, and
Oh,
then you literally can get
wow.
like a number and stuff.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and like, yeah, so that's awesome.
That sounds better than online dating where you're not really sure what this person is hoping for.
Yeah.
Because even online dating right now, I feel like people can easily lie about what they want, because I don't know if you saw this video online. There was this man talking about how he wanted this girl, but she didn't want him. So he found out what she wants in her life and just lied to her.
And he like changed to
He
like
changed
fit her.
until
Oh, that's
like,
so scary.
and then he slept with her once, and since he got what he wanted, he was like, okay, I'm done here. Isn't that crazy?
That sounds similar. That sounds.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Oh, girl, I don't know what to do with my hands now. Okay. Yeah. But that's called manipulation, by the way. That's
Gaslighting and
yes.
manipulation.
At some point, I feel like that can be assault because you lied to get what you wanted, but she thought it was gonna be something that's like, long, like a
Well,
long.
it's like
relationship.
did you watch the like Who Did I Marry?
Married?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how are people such good liars? I can barely tell a white lie. How are people lying for years in a marriage?
But I also think it's that whole like rose-tinted
Rose-colored
glasses.
glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like,
But I love him.
yeah, and I feel like us women, like a lot of us believe in love. Like I've been jaded a lot. I've met some girl, but at the end of the day, I still believe in love. I still believe like maybe there is somebody out there for me one day that I'll meet. But girl, it's taking a long time to meet this person. It's pissing me off. I'm like, God, where is this person? Why is it taking so long? And why am I meeting so many fucked up people at the road?
Yeah, literally.
Like, I've been like, I try to be my best in a relationship.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
give like 100%.
Literally 100%. But you never know if the person with you is just using you for their benefit until they meet the person they want to marry.
I feel like that's like covered that urge of what he wanted of like partnership and love, and it was like once a week, so and I think that's changed once he realized like, oh, I'm actually ready to like, but not her.
Yeah. And I don't understand why men are okay with that, because I've never heard men complain. Maybe also because I'm a girl, I've never heard this. I've never heard a man complain about a woman using them until they find their husband. It's always women complaining about being used in a relationship until that man finds who he wants to marry and make the wife. And it's so fucked up. I feel like there is a special place in hell for y'all. There is a very specific place in hell for men who use women until they find the girl that they're like, oh, now that's my wife.
That her.
Yeah, that's my wife. Not the girl that I've been with for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. That girl that I just saw 2 seconds ago.
Happens too much.
There's a special place in hell for y'all. I swear to I swear to God. I promise you. There has to be a special place, because that is so messed up. And then y'all wonder why women don't like men anymore. Like y'all wonder why women are like, I don't care to date no more.
Yeah.
There's so many women who are just staying single now because they're like,
Well, that whole movement in Korea with the ladies.
The 4B
where, like,
movement.
Yeah, Korean women don't want to be marrying Korean men because that tells you something,
and it's also just not even in Korea. I think worldwide,
Worldwide,
most
yeah.
marriage is not as coveted as they used to be. I think a lot of women are starting to realize you're at peace single than marrying a person who's potentially even kill you, to be honest.
Well, like, I realized, like, this is the longest I've been single, which is crazy. Like, most of my teenage and my young adulthood in my 20s was in a relationship. And my mum actually was worried. She was like, do you know how to be single? It's been so long. Because there was only a 6-month break between and I was like, honestly, I find it healing. It's been nice to just do what I want to do
without being concerned about something else.
And just like worrying, and so it's kind of actually been really nice.
But you know what, it's okay to also want a relationship.
Absolutely.
So hopefully someday, girl, you find that person and you hit me up on Instagram and be like, girl,
I found
a man.
And I'll send the profile. She can go check.
I'll be like, girl, let me check who's following.
Yeah.
Do you believe that whole thing about you can tell a lot by a man? You can tell a lot about a man by who he follows on Instagram.
Oh, absolutely. Ick. It's also a big ick on who he follows. Like certain type of men, red fucking flag. And like the types of girls, obviously OnlyFans or things like that. It's obviously like,
it's such a red flag. And I feel like I've never really seen women follow a bunch of men. Like, I've never followed a man like, oh, he fine, follow.
I mean, I have. But I only do it when I'm single. And see, because I've started single, I'm like, you're kind of cute.
You're fine.
But they're famous. So like,
but it's because, let me give an example. My ex was following women from all around the world. I don't know what was going on in this man's, and I don't know why I didn't clock
How did
that.
you find him?
Girl.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Which is crazy because like now that I look back at it, because he was following black
influencers
in Korea.
Oh.
And I feel like he clocked me on the dating app knowing I was an influencer. This is Mr. Married Man, by the way, I'm talking about. But like I think he clocked me that way because he was following people that I'm close with. That I was like, how did you follow all these people but you don't follow me, and my following is bigger than these people? You know what I mean? So I feel like he knew. And he also followed a lot of like famous Kenyan actresses and influencers, and I was like, I remember thinking, how does he even know these women? Like, how do you know these my stupid ass?
I feel like when you see red flags, you don't want to believe them. And you're just like, oh, it's, like, it's fine.
He's fine.
And then you think back and you're like, damn, that was so close. Like, so clear.
That flag was huge.
Yeah, the biggest. Like,
it was a huge flag. Is that man who be swinging that red flag on Instagram? That should have been me as soon as I saw the following list. But literally now when I date, I'm checking your Instagram follow list. I need to see who you're following.
You know what's hot is if you find a man like on the apps or whatever, or you just like, and you and the following list is like he's got 200 followers and he's following 150, or like he's got 400 followers and he's following 200 people
because they're only like his close people.
Exactly. That's a green flag. I love that. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes. I'm like, or you know what's even hotter? When a man
public, not private,
yes!
Bitch. When it's private
page. Listen, a man with a private Instagram. Woo! Oh my sorry.
Teeth. But also, I feel like a red flag is not having social media.
Oh, that's a red flag.
In some instances, I think that's also.
Yeah, I've met people who are like, I don't have an Instagram, I don't have a Twitter, and I'm just like, so what do you do?
At least something, because I'm like, how do you communicate?
Like, you can't have friends near you, so how are you communicating with friends who are away from you? So that's definitely a red flag. But start with a private page. Oh, Jesus.
That's the day and age we're in these days, though. When a man has a private, you're like, 10 out of 10.
Now that's a man.
Yeah.
Like, if he's not commenting under other women's pictures, I could marry you, sir. Now that's a man.
Yeah. It's crazy, though.
Like, the bar is so damn low, that's impossible.
She's in the ground.
That bar is insanely low. Like, I don't know what happened to the dating pool, but I used to be like, oh, I'll be married by 25.
Girl, when I think of me being 25.
Girl. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. And then I was like, oh, maybe 30. I have a cat still.
Hey.
At least I got her at 24. Now I'm almost 30 and she's still there.
Actually, I'm planning to get a dog in China because I know I'm going to be a little bit lonely. So I was like, go get a dog.
As you should.
So excited.
Adopt, don't shop though.
Oh, absolutely.
Adopt, don't shop. Or maybe kidnap from the street. That's fine too.
Yeah.
And take it home with you.
Yeah.
But is there anything about, your dating life and why you're leaving to China that you'd like to say before we move it on along?
It's been a journey.
Korea has been great. You will be coming back.
Yeah, I think so. I think also because I have like such amazing friends here that I feel like for my first couple months, and because it's so close and I'm going to have a visa, obviously being Kiwi as well, you don't need a visa in China, but like I feel like I'm going to fly back a lot.
It's so close.
So I think, and also I'd love to have some of my friends come over and see me
also,
because I'm planning to get a 2-bedroom.
Ooh, girl, I've never been to China, but maybe I'll go.
That's what I mean. And she can just get a job and she can come and
Can
stay
do
and
modeling
hang
in
out.
China or something. 'Cause I've heard they got China got a lot of that. Yeah, so maybe I'll be like, Odessa, can I crash while I find some agencies or something like that? But yeah, Korea's always going to be here, girl. Live your life for a year and see. You might like it so much you extend. You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
You literally never know.
My mind is open. I'm being open-minded.
Very open-minded out here. But do you mind if I close out the episode now?
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, by the way, this is not the only episode. Right after this, there is another episode coming, but that can only drop in August because Odessa leaves in August and the tea in that episode cannot be dropped until August. Ooh. So we will be closing this episode right here. Thank you, Odessa, for coming on the show again. And again, because the next episode is about to be shot again.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, give us 5 stars in any podcasting platform that we had so we can get up in the algorithm. This was another episode of Korea Unfiltered, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye, guys.